I wonder if Alejandro Jodorowsky finished his Dune, would he be haunted by the project? What do you think?
It's funny that you bring that up because I feel like if when he got it done, or when he got finished, he might have realized the gravity of how much he maybe more specifically his
all
son.
the things he's caught. Yeah, the son thing really bothered.
The son thing's the main thing because
I think
there's
it's the most fucked up thing.
Yeah, there's no 30-man crew that almost dies in Jodorowsky because it wasn't that.
No, 30 natives.
30 natives, yeah. No, wait.
But he pays the natives really well.
Yes.
Like, this is something that's really addressed
great.
in the film.
But one of the quotes I was going to say I really like from Burden of Dreams that I want to bring up before I forget is when he says, it's in 5-10 years, these people will not be here. Their society will be gone. And it's so sad and blah, blah, blah. And he says, I don't want to live in a world without lions, and these people are lions. And I remember hearing that, and I was like, God damn. He's just so...
He's incredible. He's incredible. And I felt that... I felt this kind of empathy and also admiration for Jodorowsky's.
Oh, yeah.
For Jodorowsky, because... I mean, in the end of the film, he's like... What do you mean I can't do it?
Yeah.
What do you mean I can't do it? Why couldn't I do it? Why can't I dream of making the biggest film of the world? Why can't I dream of making this the most special thing? Of his goal with his Dune was to change the perception of those who watched it and change the earth.
And it would have been 15 hours too, which is just crazy. And crazy.
I just think that the idea of it, it's so crazy, and I think that it's so sad that today, looking at the films, that the blockbusters that we've seen, I think that I went to a party with George the other day, and I was talking to this guy at this party and about films, and I was asking if he saw some current films, some blockbusters, and he said I don't know why I would watch that.
Blockbusters?
Yeah, he was just I was talking about just big films, you know what I mean?
Right.
Big, and he was like, I don't know why that's not cinema or whatever, something really stupid. And the thing is that I big films, science fiction, it's something that I really admire and I really love, and I think that it's such a shame that we live in this such China dominated box office thing, which you have to make a sequel after a sequel, or and stupid political fucking movies because the world has to understand, and we don't give money for amazing directors to try big movies like Christopher Nolan. He does an amazing blockbusters. Quentin Tarantino does amazing. No, Dunkirk is amazing. Fucking masterpiece.
No, everybody who says Dunkirk is long and boring, you have to watch it again.
Change your life.
You have to
Interstellar for me. I don't know if you like Interstellar.
I haven't seen Interstellar.
No, Interstellar for me. It's
I hear it's amazing. I mean, obviously, I hear.
I've heard people talk shit about Interstellar
because it's long and I don't. Again,
they're plot holes. I have. Please comment below the plot holes on Interstellar. I think it's incredible. I think it's an incredible film. But I just wish that it's so sad to see Jodorowsky 40 years ago.
Right.
And not being able to make it. And today, you have people that are making it. But at the same time, you look at 90% of the blockbusters and it's they're
how
the
much
same
money?
And they're the same fucking movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, what I was gonna say is that's really great that you brought up how why don't they give it to all the money to a good director, because it was he has it all
for someone to try
out.
Or for someone to try.
Because even I don't know, I think the Marvel movies are all right, but in comparison to something like that, there is a genuine
but it's not that's not what they're looking for. It's not a franchise.
Right.
It's not a
but that's the other thing too, is because it's not a franchise, but it is so it had I'm trying to
I will
think
say
of the
this.
right
I will
word.
say having read Dune, and looking at the cast of the first of all, Warner Brothers is giving a lot of money for
Denis.
And they really trust him, and I bless Warner Brothers for that, because Blade Runner 2049 didn't really make a lot of money.
Yeah, but it was very.
But I thought
praised.
I thought it was incredible. But the thing is that I'm so glad that Warner Brothers is giving this chance to this guy, because this is a very competent guy.
Amazing.
I mean, if you see half of Hollywood is in this fucking film, I think that they're really going for it this time.
It's
they're
insane.
really going for it this time.
I mean, I hope so. I don't really know much about the production because I've been trying not to pay much attention.
No, they're keeping it under.
I want it to be.
Wraps.
I want it to be a big, long art house movie, and I know that's probably what it's gonna be. But you know.
No,
like,
it has to be the biggest art.
crossed.
It has to be the biggest art house cult film ever done, and that's the thing about Dune. That's why it's so hard to get it right.
Right.
And that's why like David Lynch couldn't get it right, and that's why like even
And,
Jodorowsky
and the
couldn't get it
studio-
off the fucking like the thing. I think my personal opinion is that Dune would be an amazing HBO series. You could have it like Game of Thrones. It would be the biggest fucking hit. You could have it's a 600 page novel. You could have every 60 pages an episode, like, and do it 10 episodes.
Absolutely.
It would be incredible. Like, it would be a masterpiece if they did it right. But they're doing a movie. I heard it's a two-parter.
Oh really?
It's impossible to put in. It's like putting
I
Game
mean,
of Thrones
yeah, that's
in a
true.
movie. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
true.
do it. You cannot.
I guess
do it.
it's more of a surprise that they're guaranteeing him a sequel. Like, what if it does come out and it is amazing and it is our big art like
and it doesn't make any money.
Yeah,
and
here's a
doesn't make any
hypothetical.
money.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I
like,
don't know.
Will you be heartbroken? Will you be sad?
I don't know what
I can see the tears welling in your eyes.
It's just that there's so much sadness in this project for me because my dream
Is
was to
to-
play Paul and Timothée Chalamet,
And Kyle
who I
MacLachlan.
love.
Yeah.
Call Me by Your Name Boy, Peach Boy,
Timmy boy.
Boy. He has taken that away from me.
That's actually true. I didn't even think
and
about how
and so
big
like,
that is for him.
like it is really big, and I think that Paul could use a Brazilian touch, and it's such a shame that I wasn't
Cast.
the one. I mean,
Everybody email Denis and tell him Martin wants to be in his movie.
but I bless him. It's just that, like, I don't know what to think because it is such a complex film, and the thing, like, what makes it so special is that, like, all the science fiction and all the like the fantasy and all of that, those kinds of books, they usually like tell you what things look like. Like Game of Thrones, like, oh, Drogon is a color and Viserion is a color, and the dragons are all like in Dune, like Jodorowsky says in the film, for the first 100 pages you don't know what is going on. He alludes to things and he names the things, but he doesn't tell you what they look like.
Yeah.
So every person that reads Dune has a different perception of it. So that's something really tricky to get, because it's going to be the perception of this crew and this cast on this film. And so that will be something very specific. So I'm looking forward to see what is the aesthetic that they use. But again, it's a very complex story to do in one film. I don't know if they can do it successfully. They're gonna have to cut like chunks and chunks.
I'm
of
sure
the,
they will.
of
But
the
I'm
book
sure we'll
and adapt
see,
as well.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll.
And rape Frank Herbert like Jodorowsky said.
Jodorowsky said.
But
yeah, no.
I'm open to it. My last thing, I'll just say this: I'm open to it. I will forever want to play Paul, but perhaps just in my dreams.
But perhaps just in your dreams, which fits with.
But I'm open for it. Like,
too.
I hope it's really good. I hope it's really good, and I hope everyone gets to read the book
Right.
because it's really incredible.
Right. I was gonna say too, the part where you just mentioned it, but there is a part where Jodorowsky says that he will rape Frank Herbert's novel, and they're like,
No,
what?
he will rape Frank
They're
Herbert. Like, he's
they're
like, I'm when I'm doing this,
Oh, yes.
I'm raping Frank Herbert.
Yeah, and they're like, and
What
then
do
he
you mean?
repeats it, and he like,
No, actually,
like,
it's
says
a
it,
little
like,
bit
3
more.
times.
It's a little like it's even more like
it's very crazy.
It's more crazy than that. He also says some other things
says
about
no.
rape, which we
says,
won't say.
He says some.
They're kind of offensive.
He's a madman, yeah, but it's
he's
in
a
good
crazy
way.
person. But he's incredible. He's incredible, and
Yes.
he's older than Herzog. He's like 10 years older than
He's got to be
Herzog.
like way.
He's
old.
90. He's
Yeah.
90.
But I think Herzog will live to be 100. To be honest, if anybody will live,
No,
to be very long,
No,
I think it'll
agree.
be Werner
Herzog
Herzog.
is.
But
incredible.
there's something else. I was
This
gonna
man
say
will
about-
not die.
Oh, we haven't seen My Best Fiend either, but we were talking earlier about how. Sorry to bring it back to Burden of Dreams. There's a scene in Burden of Dreams, or not even a scene. It's a deleted scene where Klaus blows up on a producer and stuff, and in the commentary, Werner is like, "It was not essential to the film, so we had it kept out," and like all this stuff. But apparently there's like tons of footage of him blowing up and stuff, which was another.
It's
problem.
It's another film.
Yeah, Klaus was another, like him as a character was another. Problem.
Klaus is
Because you read the book.
No, yeah,
book.
I read half of his biography because
Which
it was
is-
from the Chicago Library, and I was overdue, and so I owe $1.75 to the Chicago Public Library. So I had to take the book back, but I'm planning on reading the other half.
Yes.
I mean, Klaus Kinski had a tough life.
Oh yeah, the way you only
a disgusting, incestuous, poor, sad, violent life, and it's a very like of course he was crazy.
I think it is, maybe it is in the deleted scenes, maybe it's not, but there's this one, I think it is. There's a part where he has a butterfly, and it's flying around, and he's moving it and like putting it on his face, and he looks so pure. And Werner Herzog,
he's incredible. He's one of the best actors
But
ever.
Werner Herzog goes, I would like to remember him this way. And like when you know all of the stuff they've been through, even how like he said in recent interviews when he's like
death threats.
People when he's like, people think of me and Klaus together, but Klaus has made 200 films, not all of them with me, and how he says I've made 50 films, not all of them with Klaus, we're completely separate, but they still unity. They still have this weird
his work in Nosferatu,
not weird, like
his work in Nosferatu as the vampire is
oh my god,
one of the most incredible performances.
Good.
Klaus Kinski is one of the most like the best act, like he's a person that says everything with a look, with a turn of eye. It's just that, of course, he was like crazy and damaged, and that I think he wouldn't be the actor that he was if he wasn't as damaged, I guess. But yeah, there's a really funny scene when Los Blanc is interviewing him. He's like, "Yeah, what are we doing in this shit? And in this forest, and at this 6 months, it's boring.
Like, he's like
this shit.
He says
this fucking shit.
Yeah, no, he's like calm kind of, and he's like, you can't do anything. You can't read the book. All you have to do is stay in this fucking forest. And he kind of goes off.
It's so good.
But there's like other parts. I'm trying to think of like other bits in Burden of Dreams that really, really, really stood out. But like the whole thing really was just, like I said, just more Burden of Dreams for me, because I know you've read Dune, so you have a big attachment.
I have a big attachment to Dune and Paul.
Just hearing Werner Herzog,
which was meant to be played by me.
I know, honey. I'm sorry. I think that just hearing Werner Herzog talk about like
making films,
his dreams and how much it hurts, like how it's almost like he's so creative that it pains him, which I think is so great. And I agree. In the best way possible, because it's like, how many people are genuinely upset and aren't just doing it because it's like, I have so much of this project, but he did it, and he's like, he did it, and he fucking did it,
and it's like, it's more than going in and talking to a producer. Like, it is going to the fucking jungle,
the Amazon,
for 4 years.
He pulled a boat over
with no phones, no nothing, like hours and hours. Like, he chose a specific location that was the furthest away that he could get, just so all the actors could get in the mood, and he could get in the mood. And like, they made a masterpiece. Like, Fitzcarraldo is it's a fucking masterpiece.
That was good that you brought that up too, because when they say that in the documentary, how he has a reputation of allegedly making things harder just to make things hard. But then how he's like, no, when you're here, there's a reason. When you're here, there's a different. It's a different world. Mm-hmm. Like, he even says at the end how there's no harmony in the jungle, and he's
the devil's land.
He's like, you can't. And then he says,
if God exists, it's his unfinished, work is the Amazon. And it's such a beautiful movie.
But he says the thing about how there's no harmony in real life, and the only way to
find that out is going to the jungle, and he hates that because of course we are humans and we love harmony.
Yes, but it's just so good.
But I would say that both movies are very inspirational. Like, I would really recommend you watching these films.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's such a beautiful, like, in both of the films, it's this attitude of like, do it, go after it. Why can't you do it? Write what you want to write. See what you want to see. Get a camera and go do it. And like, kill,
cheat.
Steal,
do whatever,
cheat, kill, go talk to Pink Floyd, and like curse at Pink Floyd. When Jodorowsky was talking to Pink Floyd, they were like eating hamburgers, and he was like, "Are you serious? You're like, eating hamburgers? I'm talking about the most important film ever made."
I totally forgot.
And so, I think that we will leave you with this. Yes. This message is that do
You
it.
should be inspired.
Just do it.
Whatever you're thinking about right now, you can do it.
You should be
I believe in
inspired,
you.
and
Werner Herzog believes in you.
and
Jodorowsky does.
studios and money shouldn't keep you away from doing what it is that you want to do. If it's movies, if it's not, if it's
Absolutely.
movies, call me and George. We're
Hit us up.
me and George are actually making a film. Just full
plug that in
disclosure.
there. Horses.
That's all we'll say. And and so, would you like to say anything else?
I'm trying to think of like a quote.
A
to
good
end,
closing.
because
Cooking is the only alternative to filmmaking.
There's a couple in there that he says that are like you can take out of context and are just hilarious. No, there's one where he's like, maybe it was in the deleted scenes of the interview thing, but he talks about how like there's probably some reasoning for his like obsession with making the movie, and he's like, there's probably some Freudian philosophical answer to this, and I like the people who would interpret my mind as some Freudian philosophical thing, they're the bozos and like all of this, and I was like, oh. And then he also says he doesn't know the color of his eyes because he doesn't like looking in the mirror. So this will be the end quote. If there's a Freudian asshole trying to figure out what is going on with you, they're bozos. He's just a bozo. You have a wonderful night. Me and George will try to do this more often. Absolutely. And for the haters out there, we will still be posting this on YouTube. Stop multitasking. This is why the human race is going extinct. By 2050, it's because every one of you want me to put this on Spotify so you can do other things while listening to this. If you want to listen to this, stop what you're doing and listen to this. Stop multitasking. Listen to our words. And live your life. Yes. Have a conversation. Like, you know us. If you're listening to this right now, you know us. You can reach out to us. Yes. And you can have a conversation. Absolutely. And we can talk about movies. Yes. Muito obrigado. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful night. Have a lovely life.